face. It's nice to see you here.
We're recording.
Okay, spoilers ahead. Spoilers ahead.
Spoilers ahead. I made a thing.
If you have not watched any of the Netflix shows, do not watch this episode.
Because we're going to talk about all that shit.
Yeah. Well, you're quite welcome to be here, Erin. If you have questions or comments on what we're talking about this evening, feel free to post them right there in the chat window, and we will respond to them.
We will.
Yay!
We're like the least professional thing ever, so you can just talk whenever you want.
Seriously. We will go off topic quite a bit. Watch. We have our drinks ready? We have our drinks ready for the drinking game?
I got mine
ready. All right. All right. So you finally watched Stranger Things. I
finally watched Stranger Things.
After
like 18 people were telling me that I had to, and then I had no idea what it was about because everyone's like, "No, you got to watch it."
Right? Oh my god! It was like, I don't know. Everyone kept talking about it on Facebook. Oh, I'm watching Stranger Things. I watched 2 or 3 episodes. It was so hard to stop. Blah blah blah. And I'm sitting there going, Stranger Things.
What now?
Yeah, exactly. And then I thought, well, isn't that a Stephen King book? I swore up and down because I kept seeing the graphic for the show title. And I'm like, oh, it's a Stephen King book. It looks just like the cover of a Stephen King book. And so I started Googling, trying to figure out what book it was based off of. And I'm like, oh, it's not based off a Stephen King book.
At all. But it homages Stephen King as a whole.
It does.
There's that one part where the guy is reading Cujo or something.
Yes. There was a part where he was reading Cujo. There was another part where they were watching It on TV. So it was totally an homage to Stephen King. And the storyline is very reminiscent of Firestarter.
Is it? I don't even know Firestarter.
I've read a lot of Stephen King books.
I've seen a couple of the movies. I've only read his short stories. I don't like his novels.
I love his novels.
I love his non-fic. On Writing is the best writing book I've ever seen.
I agree, it is. Stranger Things is basically the story of a small town, and basically the corporation that is trying to create a weapon of mass destruction. And then this weapon of mass destruction gets away and opens a gateway to another dimension.
Accidentally.
That wasn't part of she did not mean to do it.
That wasn't part of their plan.
No, they were
just really
using her to spy. Yeah. And then the little boy gets abducted by the monster that comes through from the other dimension. And the rest of the season was about rescuing him from the upside down. Yeah.
The upside down. I love it. I keep wanting to call it the underneath, but it's actually the upside down.
Yeah, I know. I did too. I kept calling it the underneath, and I'm like, oh wait, no, it's the upside down.
The upside down. But I love that the science teacher explains what it is to them without even knowing what they're talking about. And then the kids explain it to the adults, and they have to dumb it down for the adults because the kids got it.
I loved that. That was absolutely, totally Stephen King. Because in Stephen King's books, the kids are always smarter than the adults. The kids always figure it out before the adults do. And I love it.
Because kids don't deny the truth as much.
Right.
Or at least that's how it's set up. But, oh my god, this is so good, this show.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and when we were tweeting back and forth about it, and I commented that it reminded me of Dean Koontz as well. And more specifically of The Watcher. I don't know if you read that one. Okay, in The Watcher...
My dad read like every one of his books, but I've only read like one chapter of one, and I don't remember which one.
In The Watcher, the main character, Travis, he goes for a run in the woods with pretty much the plans to off himself. And he ends up discovering a loose golden retriever that he takes home with him, and the dog ends up saving his life. And then it turns out the dog is really smart. And then it turns out that the dog was a science experiment. And then there's the other half of the science experiment in the monster, who is hunting the dog. And the whole book is just about stopping the monster and protecting the dog. And I'm just like, totally reminiscent of Stranger Things. So I think they took some stuff from Dean Koontz as well.
Oh, probably.
All right. Good night, Erin. Good night. It was nice having you here.
You can rewatch the replay after you've seen it.
Yes, please do. We would love for you to watch. If you need a link to the YouTube, I can tweet it on Twitter at some point tonight.
But tweet it on Twitter as opposed to tweeting it on Instagram?
Yes, I don't have an Instagram.
Tweet it on Facebook.
It's like I've only recently discovered the joys of Snapchat. Oh, see, I can't see my own face when I try to do this. This sucks. Never mind. I was gonna Snapchat us, but it like covers up my whole face.
Oh, you don't have Instagram. Instagram just rolled out a thing that is literally Snapchat built into the new Instagram app. Like it is literally no. Instagram. Or it's literally Snapchat. But yeah.
All right, we will have fun. We'll hope to see you again soon, Erin. All right. Bye. Okay, they are gone, so we can continue on with our talking about Stranger Things.
What? Yeah, one of the things that I like the most about this show is that all the characters are so well done and so three-dimensional.
They are. You get attached to them even when you're only with them like briefly, like Barb.
Barb, I know. I'm still
still upset about Barb. Yes. Oh my god.
And her poor ugly pants and her giant ugly glasses.
My one friend Dana, she loves Barb's glasses. She wants a pair just like them.
I had a pair just like them, and
I probably did too.
1980, 88, my first pair of glasses.
Oh gosh, I was
giant pink tortoiseshell.
Yeah, I was in 4th grade the first time I got glasses. I had giant blue tortoiseshells.
My choice was giant pink tortoiseshells or like the black frame birth control glasses they give you in the military. Like those were my only choices, so I went with the pink because I was an 8-year-old girl.
So happy when we could go. My mom was able to afford wireframe glasses. Actually, I paid for these. Wait, they're filthy.
Yeah.
But just like in general, all of the characters were very easily to like almost immediately. Like you have the first time we see 11.
Like even when they're disasters.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you even have like the guy who found 11 the first time, the guy who owned the restaurant.
Oh my god, I love that guy.
That they killed him. Yeah, exactly. I was like, no, wait, no, you're helping this poor child. I don't even know what's going on with this poor child yet.
I know, like I was at my brother's house and we watched the first 4 episodes back to back. And I just like picked up my phone and I texted my friend who I invited who didn't come. And I was like my very first text was all in capitals going, they killed the guy. And he's like, which guy? I'm like, oh my god, the guy.
That guy.
I'm 10 minutes in and they killed the guy.
Right? It's just like, oh my god. And then, like I said, it had reminiscence of Firestarter, because when they go to visit Eleven's mother and aunt, the mother was a part of an experiment. And that's the exact same thing that happened in Firestarter. The parents were a part of this experiment for the military back in the 60s, and then they had the girl who was able to start fires, obviously. Hence,
there were
Firestarter.
so many references. Like MK Ultra is an actual thing, but it immediately brought up like conspiracy theory. They were like, it was MK Ultra, and I was like, not the gravy. Like,
but yeah, it's like every time you turn around, there was just something in the episode that would remind you of something else that happened in something or was in a book in the 80s, and it was so well done.
So well done. Like, it was constantly referencing and calling back to things, but it didn't feel like it was ripping them off. It was handling them very delicately and very smartly.
Yeah. They didn't just go, oh, look, we're 80s. You know.
80s. It was like real 80s. Like, everyone had terrible hair.
My hair looked like this in the 80s, except blonde, not purple and green.
My hair looked like this, but more curly because I got a perm. Because it was the 80s.
I was naturally curly, so like everybody always told me, don't dye your hair.
I had like a bowl cut that was like this, and then like that, because I used to chew on my hair, so my mom cut my hair really short, and then it was long in the back.
Oh my gosh. Hello, Mike the Monk. Welcome.
Oh my god. But yeah, like this show was full of actual ugly hair and terrible high-waisted pants, and
the only person who had decent hair was the one teenage girl, because she just had the usual straight dark hair.
The sister?
Yeah, the sister. Yeah.
Nancy. Yeah,
I'm telling you.
She had the little combs right there, like my mom used to wear.
But it wasn't this. It was still more of a normal hairstyle, because you can still see people who wear their hair like that today.
Yeah.
But you gotta remember, those were normal hairstyles in the 80s.
I know, and it was great, because usually they like pretty it up so everyone in something that's supposed to be in the 80s looks like they're from a music video, where everyone looks like Michael Jackson or Cyndi Lauper. And this was
This was normal 80s people. And yes, Mike, we do know we are recording. Thank you.
It's a show. You got to record.
Yeah, we record and post these on YouTube every week.
But yeah, they did a really good job with the feel of it. Like right down to, there was grain in the title sequence, like on the camera. It was like,
yeah,
and that
like
music, oh my god, there was so much synth music.
I loved it. It was just so reminiscent of my childhood. Because I mean, I was, I was a baby little thing for most of the 80s, but I remember it all. I remember playing the video games and riding my bike everywhere. Kids today don't even know what bikes are.
Oh my god, they drove out on their banana seat bullhorn bikes, and I was just like, oh my
god, banana seats! Yes, I had a banana seat. It was
it pink? Mine was pink.
Mine was white with little pink flowers. Totally 80s flower child.
If there was a girl bike, it better have had those ribbons on the handlebars.
Yes, you have to have your handlebar streamers in the 80s.
It's true.
Now, I keep hearing
things on the wheels.
Differing things that they're gonna jump ahead like 10 years for the next season? And I'm like, no, because nobody will play 11 as good as the girl who's playing her now.
I know. And like, how are we going to go 10 years after how Will ended up at the end of the thing?
Right? I mean, come on, he puked a slug up into the sink and he was in the underworld and, or sorry, the upside down. And no, we need to continue from where we left off, or at least a few months later or something.
That was so exciting because he was like he's just standing there and then suddenly he's in the upside down and then he's back. And is that like PTSD because he spent a week in the underworld running from monsters, or is he literally there? Because if he's literally there, that is so interesting.
Because that means that they didn't rescue him.
No, like part of him got left behind, or part of that came back with him.
Yeah. Well, he puked up the slug into the sink.
Yeah, and then it just went down the drain. Like, what's it gonna do down the drain?
Wait, come back. I need to know what you are. Well, my thought process is the slug might grow into a new monster.
A new monster or a new portal? Like,
yeah.
The portal was a living thing that just happened to bust through both sides of the divide.
In several places, oddly enough. Because remember, there was the one in the tree out in the forest.
Yeah.
And the one in the pool for Barb.
Yeah.
So.
And like the wall was probably a similar thing too, because it was because
it came through that wall like 4 or 5 times. Yeah.
Yeah. So creepy. Oh my God, so creepy.
I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I watched it in like 2 days.
I watched 4 episodes and then it was like almost midnight and I was like, I gotta go home. I have stuff to do. And then the next day I was busy, and then the day after that I watched 4 more episodes, and I'm like, screw the world, I'm gonna finish this.
Right. It was a weekend, and I think I started it Friday night, and I watched like the first episode. And I'll be honest, the first episode, it was like, why are people so? Oh, this is so good. I'll be honest, I didn't get sucked in with the first episode. So I only watched the first episode on Friday night. And then Saturday I started the second episode and we really started getting into the story and everything was getting exciting. And then 4 hours later, I was like, crap, I've watched half the series.
We were doing math. We were like, okay, there's only 4 episodes left. It's quarter to midnight. That'll put us at like
3:30 in the morning. Yeah.
We're like 50 minutes an episode. We're like, no, it's too late. I need to go home. Oh man, though, like there's so much for the next season to do.
I know. Like, where's 11? Where did 11 disappear to?
I know.
Best give me 11 back.
She was so wonderful. Whoever this little girl is, she had a grand total of like 20 words or something. Like,
right?
Like she hardly spoke at all.
Yeah, she was
so good.
So good. She's gonna go somewhere.
Face acting.
Yeah. Exactly. She's not just relying on her words and the script to get her through. She's relying on the descriptions of what her facial expressions are supposed to be and her emotions are supposed to be. You can, it was awesome. That little girl is amazing.
She was selling it. She knew what she was doing.
Oh yeah.
She gonna be a star.
Oh, I don't doubt it at all.
My brother said that he reminded him of Natalie Portman when she was very small. Like when she was in The Professional,
the Professional,
whatever she was in before that.
Before that, I don't know. I just remember The Professional.
Yeah, that was the first thing I saw her in.
Yeah, same. I can see that. Oh, I know. I bought it for my mom on DVD years ago because she loves it. She goes, they never put it on TV often enough. So I finally found it on DVD for her, and I gave it to her at Christmas one year. I'm like, here, your favorite movie on DVD. And she's like, oh my gosh.
I love me some Jean Reno, though. Like, whenever he shows up in a movie, it's already, like, 10 times better.
Yes.
Like,
yes, I agree.
Like, the Godzilla 2000, it was like, okay, it's fine, whatever. And then Jean Reno, and I'm like, oh my god, it's better!
Yay! It's 100 times better now.
Oh my god. Did you see the Dark Crystal poster in the kids' room?
I did. That was awesome. Because Dark Crystal wasn't nearly as popular as Labyrinth. So it was awesome to see something that wasn't Labyrinth.
Well, I would have been happy for Labyrinth too, but I was more happy because Dark Crystal don't get no love.
No, it doesn't. I actually didn't even know it existed till like 9 years ago. I watched it in a friend's bedroom. Like, we all just like were lounging on her bed, and she put it on, and we just watched it. First time I ever saw it.
But it's like fantastic. How could you not grow up with that in your brain?
Again, I did not watch a lot of TV growing up.
Well, we didn't either.
I read.
We didn't have a TV until I was 7, and at that particular,
TV, I just didn't care.
When I was 7, we were in Japan, so a lot of the TV didn't have English.
But we watched. You lived in Japan. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, for 3 school years. We watched a lot of movies, and the 80s were the perfect time to be watching weird, trippy fantasy movies. There were so many of them.
Yeah.
So they're all like literally built into my brain. We watched Labyrinth until the VHS broke. We watched Princess Bride until the VHS broke.
I've seen Princess Bride a lot, so you can't be mad at me for that one. I've seen that one plenty.
Like, me and my sister watched it so much that we could reenact the entire movie beginning to end with our Barbies.
That's awesome.
Like, line by
line.
I
spent all the time cutting the hair off my sister's Barbies.
Oh, we did that too. We only had one pen, so we had to make them into boys.
And then when I ran out of Barbie's hairs to cut, this is why my mom stopped giving me bangs. I literally took them to hair.
When I was like 5 or 6, I tried to hole punch my hair because I thought it would be cool to have holes in hair. But, you know, hair doesn't work like that.
No, it does not. I chopped off so much of my hair so many different times. My mom literally just gave up, and she started putting my hair in a ponytail all the time. And hence we see here, 30 years later, that's all I ever do with my hair.
One of my cousins cut her bangs really short, and her mom tried to glue them back on.
Oh my god, that had to have been. Oh my god. Yeah. That's horrible, but funny at the same time.
I thought it was the best thing ever when she told me, and she was like, "It's not funny," and I'm like, "No, it's awesome."
It's awesome. It's not funny. It's awesome. Oh
my goodness.
But yeah, I think every little kid at some point or another chops their bangs off. I don't think I've ever known a little girl who hasn't gotten a hold of safety scissors and gone right across the front of their forehead.
As soon as a kid is allowed to be unsupervised with scissors, they're going to take their hair off. My nephew wound up bald as a prison inmate one time because right before a party, like literally the day before his sister's 16th birthday party, he just goes,
"Oh no."
Big chunk. Big bald chunk. So we had to be saved.
My little brother, I was taking a nap on the couch when I was like 13, and I had my hair over the arm of the couch because I have it in a ponytail. So I pushed the bun up and like and so my head's on the pillow, but not the little knot from the ponytail holder.
Yeah.
And he got a hold of scissors, walked up behind me, and cut everything off below the ponytail holder.
Oh my God, I would kill him.
Oh, I saw red. I was going to murder his little ass.
Oh my God. I think we've hit most of my points already.
Really? Wow. That was quick.
We're crazy good at this.
We are getting really good at this. Maybe our shows won't be 2.5 hours anymore.
But I like him for 2.5 hours.
Well, but, we need more to talk about.
The chief was leaving waffles. Does the chief know that 11 isn't dead?
I think he has a feeling she's not dead, because why else would he leave waffles for her?
I know, but like, you know? How? Is he still in the pocket of those feds?
I don't know. That's that. Oh, that. Yes. Because he says, oh, I made a deal, and him and the mom get out. And I'm sorry, I low-key ship the chief and the mom. Low-key. Totally.
Right?
I could see them. They needed to hook up. They still need to hook up.
They do.
They would be perfect together.
They had a lost kid in common, and he helped her find hers so that hers wouldn't be gone forever.
Right? Like his. Because, you know, I mean, there was nothing he could do to save his kid, so he saved hers, and they need to end up together. They do.
When they said that he had a daughter who had died, I totally expected 11 to be that daughter.
Like, you know, I did too for a little bit.
For like one episode, I was like, it's totally going to be 11. Like, they faked her death, or they kidnapped her and said she died.
Yeah, or she was abducted and they just assumed she was murdered, because 90% of child abductions not solved in the first 24 hours usually lead to the child's death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know too much random shit.
That's what happens when you're a writer.
Yep.
There's that thing that goes around Tumblr, like I'm not a mass murderer. I'm a writer. I'm doing research. I'm not a terrorist. I'm a writer doing research. Like,
yeah. There was one point I was writing something based on a nuclear strike that was supposed to hit Chicago, and I was writing this whole thing, and the file vanished. And you have no idea how much research I did on nuclear tonnage and how much I would need to wipe out the entire city of Chicago. And I did all this, and then exactly. And then I went in to continue writing the story, and the file with the story vanished, and my file with all my notations vanished.
That's mysterious and suspicious.
Right? I'm like, wait, this was a good book. What the hell?
You know, I'm convinced that there's a file somewhere full of transcripts of my phone calls, because when I was first in college, I would like talk to my friends on my first cell phone ever, and there would be all these clicks, and then the phone would die.
Years ago, when me and Babs, I grew up in Illinois, she grew up here in California, but when me and Babs lived across country from each other, we'd talk on the phone late into the night, and like randomly at some points in the night, we'd start hearing Bible thumpers. Like we were picking up a random radio station or something through our phones, and they would be, "You're a heathen, and you're going to hell," and blah blah, and we're just like,
our TV, back when cable would still turn off in the middle of the night in like the early 90s, our TV would pick up people's cell phone conversations if there was no channel on. Like,
oh my god.
We would stay up until like 3 a.m. when the TV went off and surfed the static channels trying to find people's cell phone conversations.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
That's what happens when you grow up with only your brother and your sister and no TV. You are a creepy kid.
You want creepy. My sister's 5 years older than me, so she was doing the dating thing while I was still a little kid. And she dated this guy, and she didn't like him, and he wouldn't leave her alone. Like, he would call our house at like the most random ass times. So her and her best friend convinced little 8-year-old, 9-year-old me to call this guy and tell him that my sister had died.
Oh my god.
It was horrible. I feel horrible about that these days.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's gonna be watching this and be like, what?
Yeah, right. Oh, he figured it out the next day when they went back to school, but
They didn't even skip school?
no.
Oh my god, that's even better. The best story ever.
Right now it's all over the internet. Woohoo!
Just be like, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you, I'm dead.
Yeah, exactly. And they got me to do the "is my daddy there" thing a couple times because this is back before caller ID. So you could call people and prank them and be like, "Is my daddy there? He was supposed to be home like 2 hours ago, and this is the number he
Oh my
sent me."
god.
My sister was a horrible influence on 8-year-old me.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. But
My sister used to do the prank calling,
Yeah.
and half the time it was to me because I was a gullible idiot.
oh,
And it was so mean. And there was lots of times when I just punched her because of it. We were violent. We were punchy, stabby kids. My brother once hit my sister in the face with a paper bag full of Hot Wheels.
God, how old was I? Probably probably around the same time, 8, 9 years old. My mom worked overnights. My dad wasn't in the picture, but my sister was in charge of me when my mom had to work overnights, and my mom had to work overnight the night before Thanksgiving, and my sister and I stayed up relatively late making pies because we were going to go to my aunt's house the next day for Thanksgiving dinner. And my sister goes, "I'll be right back. I'm just going to run downstairs," because we lived in an upstairs apartment and you'd go out in the hallway, down the stairs, and out the front door of the apartment. She goes, "I'm just going to run outside really quick. My boyfriend is here. I forgot something at his house the other day." And I'm like, "Okay." And like, she didn't come back, and she didn't come back, and she didn't come back. So finally I went out the front door. I went out the door, and I went down the stairs and outside the apartment and got locked out. And she was nowhere to be found. So I was like out on the street at like midnight with no way to get back into my apartment. My sister was nowhere to be found, and I ended up having to spend the night at the next door neighbor's house, who was a county sheriff. And they called my mom at work and said, "Sarah took off. Joy's locked out," because we grew up in a small town, and so everybody knew everybody. And then my mom could not leave work. And so she gets home the next morning. She picks me up from the neighbors, and we go in the house, and there's my sister. Never gave a shit that I was missing all night.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You could have been kidnapped by a faceless monster from an alternate dimension.
Right?
Are you sure you didn't spend several hours to a week in the
I'm sure.
Upside down.
I am almost positive I was on the county sheriff's couch next door all night.
Almost positive.
Almost positive.
Almost.
But yeah, that's not the first time my sisters locked me out of a house. That was not the first time. Oh my God. Don't get me wrong. I love my sister to death. So if you see this, Sarah, know that I do love you to death. We just don't get along. We're too different. Though oddly enough, she's also a published author. Yeah, she's got 4 or 5 books out there. I should
see.
advertise. I should advertise that. That's the Fragile Line series by Sarah Powell.
Ooh.
There. I advertised my sister on our show. Go me. They're actually really good books. I read them way before she ever had them published.
Sweet.
Yeah, I was
Sister
one of
bonus.
her beta readers. You know, I get to read before it's released. But yes. Let's see. But yeah, and I will admit it, I was a little disappointed that Jonathan and Nancy didn't end up together in the end.
I know. It looked like they were going to.
That's what like they seemed like they were setting it up for, but then the boyfriend came and he helped save the day, and Nancy went back to the asshole boyfriend. Who, I'm sorry, I would not have forgiven him for the shit he helped pull. He may have not done it himself, but he helped pull it.
Like,
you know,
they did a good job of making him realize that he'd gone too far and done some stupid shit, but he needed more than swinging a bat and cleaning a marquee to make it up to me.
Right, same. He needed a lot more.
He needed to be nicer, but also he was the one who gave him back the camera, I guess.
Yeah, he helped buy the new camera. Yeah,
and he seemed totally devoid of jealousy at that point. So I'm gonna call Fix It with Polly.
Fix It with Polly. All right. I can do that. I can swing that way. I have a couple Polly ships. I can do it.
Because love triangles are dumb and overused.
Yes,
but
agreed.
Netflix is off the beaten path enough that if anyone could get away with it, it would be something on Netflix.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna mention it. I won't be the one to mention it.
Avoiding mentioning it is mentioning it.
I actually honestly thought that they were gonna go that way in that show. That they were gonna do the love triangle thing. That was gonna cause the conflict. So I was really proud of them for not going that way in that show. I didn't say the name.
In that show and in this show.
Yes.
Like it's not really a love triangle in this show.
No,
it's like a love straight line.
Yeah. It's a weird little, there might be some squiggles here and there.
Because like
where we're supposed
to. The standard love triangle is 2 people fighting over 1 person, and that's not what's happening here.
Yeah, nobody's fighting over each other. They're all just like, we're friends.
Yeah. They're like, we survived a monster. We're cool.
Yeah, we're cool. We're way cool.
And like, that's something I can handle. Like, if they had made Steve be all jealous and macho at the end, still, it would have been stupid. Yeah. And I am disappointed that she stayed with him, especially since she seemed to like Jonathan. And she kissed his cheek and they had that cute moment.
They had that such adorable moment. It's like, yes, the geeky, nerdy poor boy is going to get the girl. Yes, thank you. And then he didn't. I'm ashamed of you, Netflix. I am ashamed. For shame.
For shame.
For shame.
But on the other hand, there's obviously a lot of stories still to go. And if the second season is as good as this one, like this clean and this tight, they can do whatever the hell they want next season.
Yes, they can. They can. They could. I say the monster is not as destroyed as we think it is.
Well, the monster, even if the monster is gone, they said that it was like an animal, and that portal is still there, and so there won't just be one living thing in an entire dimension.
Right. So who knows what could come through next?
Yeah, like what else is out there?
And then you have Will, who's puking up slugs.
puking up slugs. Weird spotty jelly slugs.
Yeah. It's very weird, yucky, black jelly spotted goop.
And will that matter?
Yeah.
Like that.
Obviously, that's going to matter.
Maybe next season it'll be like the monster will be like alligators in the sewers, only it's that slug turned into some creepy giant thing.
Yes, that would be awesome. I could get behind that. I'm literally pulling stickers off of a bottle of nail polish.
Weirdo.
I know. It's called Mirror Ball. It's sparkly and pretty. I know, it's going to go on my nails tomorrow when I do my nails. Oh. I think we both just got tweeted by Maria, who said she chose a bad time to cancel her Netflix account. Yes, did, Maria, you did. You did. Very bad time, because you need to get it back and you need to watch Stranger Things.
Or borrow someone else's. Right? It's only 8 episodes. You can watch it in like a day if you're dedicated.
Yeah, it's not seriously?
It's not like Battlestar Galactica where it gets really heavy and you... Like, I could not mainline that show.
Oh, God, no.
I tried.
It took me a year or two to get through that whole show. I tried,
and it was just like 3 or 4 episodes, and that was about as much as I could do. But this show is like, only 8, and they're good. Yeah. Like
they're all good.
It's creepy.
There isn't a down moment that drags at all.
No.
I had issues with the first episode, but I usually have issues with first episodes of almost all shows.
They were just setting up characters. It didn't bother me.
Yeah.
But, like, they did a really good job with the pacing in this series. So, like, if it was a scary moment, it was scary, but it was at exactly the speed. Yeah. And it went at exactly the speed where you could process it and feel the feelings of it. And then the slower parts were really good character work.
Mm-hmm. Where you got to know more about the characters, and they developed the characters relatively quickly, which made me happy.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have time to not be quick.
Right. For only having 8 episodes, they did amazing.
They did. And like the whole show happened over the course of like a week.
Yeah.
It was like a day per episode.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had a jump for a month later because it was like right before Christmas.
Yeah, right at the very last bit.
Yeah, the last bit was a month later, so. Which was like, it was weird because they show the chief getting into the car after Will wakes up in the hospital. And he goes and gets into the car with the creepy, shady military science people. And then, oh, wait, we're having a party at the police station and there's the sheriff. I'm like, wait, what did he do?
Yeah, what happened? Is he in their pocket? Is he working with them?
What did he agree to get them out of there?
Yeah.
Obviously, he did something to get them out of there.
Him and Joyce are the only ones who came back out of everyone that the scientists sent in.
Yeah.
So maybe that's part of it. Like he's their spelunker.
Yeah, maybe they're sending him in to explore because he was able to survive and come back. But
yeah,
as of right now, we don't know what other life forms are in there. Saying there's only one creature. Yeah, we don't know anything about the Upside Down. That would be exciting to explore more next season.
I was super curious about like the actual existence of it because it had all the buildings of town and it had like cars and stuff, but it had no people. So like, is it literally a mirror of the world as it is? If somebody moves their car and then goes back to the Upside Down, will the car be in a different place than the Upside Down? does it shift around because our world moves?
Yeah. Okay, I will pay attention to that in a second. Sorry, somebody just sent me a big old long message on Twitter, and I'm like trying to read it all quickly. It seems like, yeah, it's like a darker mirrored version of our world, except there's no human life, but apparently the monster needs us to live.
Well, before the thing punched through, what was it living on? Or did it not exist until the growth portal happened?
Yeah. Was it created by breaching our atmosphere?
Yeah. Like, it's definitely, like, the town is, on the other side, is how it is now. It's just covered in those weird, creepy vines, and there's no sunlight. Yeah. So, like, I really want it to have a direct connection. Like, I want stuff to move around without people, because there's people here.
Like, oh, this car's now parked over a block up, and look, it's there now. Like, just
no
people in this realm, but that car moved. Ow.
like the whole place is haunted by existing.
Yeah, like you're just standing in the upside down, and a car drives by with nobody in it. It just drives by, trailing the little vines behind it as it goes.
And it would probably be like creepy. It would probably go in like stuttering or something. It would be like,
yes, it would not just go by smoothly. It would just be like, yeah, like, oh my God, how is that moving? Why are you
like
moving?
A glitchy film?
Yes.
Oh my God, that'd be so good. I hope that the Duffer Brothers are listening to this, because that's a really good idea.
I hope so too. We should tweet them and make them watch this, because that would be awesome to see. Not that part though. That would not be awesome to see.
I think they're from here. My brother was saying they're from Durham, which is like the next town over from here.
Ooh, wicked.
Yeah. But like, this is a very amazing first thing that I've ever seen from them.
Yeah.
I'm super impressed with how they tell stories.
I am too. They pack each episode full of a ton of stuff to look at, which is why I agree with you 100%. This is a show that garners a rewatch very soon, because I'm sure there is stuff we've missed that would answer questions we might have.
It's packed with stuff, but it doesn't feel overloaded. That's a hard line to follow.
Yeah, exactly.
And so far, there's really only this show and that other show we're not talking about.
Yeah, that other show that we're not discussing. You know, that other show. I'm gonna do this just right. That other show.
Yeah, there was so much stuff going on in 3 different storylines that then came together so cleanly.
It was seamless. It was perfect. It was just like they all met up.
So good.
And the adults are like, what were you going to do with all that stuff? And they're like, we were going monster hunting. Well, hell, we were going to go monster hunting too. And then they find the little boys. And I was just like, yes.
But so well done. Like, you're a writer. You understand this.
Yes. It made me so happy.
When you're just like watching the story happen, and you're just like it's perfect.
Because like in my book, I'm in the same boat. I have 3 groups of people that I have to find a way to bring together, and just seeing that happen in the show, it just made me so exceedingly happy that it just all came together. And nobody had that. We didn't spend 20 minutes. Oh, you're making it up. You know, we didn't have that. And I loved it. It was perfect.
Well, there was no time for that, and also they all knew inside the story that there was no time for that.
Yeah.
And it was pretty obvious they were all doing the same thing, just in different places in different ways.
Yeah.
I was so worried in the second episode or the third episode, where the kids were in the rain and they were tromping around the woods, and then like Jonathan Yeah, Jonathan and Nancy had a gun and were also tromping around in the woods.
I was like, no,
I was so worried.
no.
I'm so glad that they didn't go in that direction because that would have been needless for the story that they had set up.
It really would have been. And then I was just like, that they have Will's body showing up in the quarry that they had already searched.
Yeah.
They had already searched it. So how did they? Ooh, okay.
And the part,
sorry.
The part that got me with that before the big reveal on that was like they wouldn't let the mother in the room to identify the body.
Yeah,
like,
they had her stand behind glass. What was up with that? Like, no, that's like, not how this works.
Even the ME wasn't allowed in, and then he went to find the body in the morgue the next day, and there was no autopsy marks.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no.
We were watching that, and we were like that.
No, that's not kosher. That's not Will.
That's not true. They've been lying.
They're lying. They be lying. But oh
my goodness.
Oh, sorry. I'm like we're discussing. Somebody is talking about things concerning that show at me.
At you.
At me. That we're discussing a concerning thing that I've mentioned a few times on Twitter.
What concerning thing?
The stalker thing.
Stalker thing.
I will fill you in on Twitter because I'm not going to discuss that any further on here because I don't want to say names and cause hurt feelings among people that, you know, have to interact with each other on a daily basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I was going to say a thing. That box in the woods where he leaves the food with the waffles and the chicken wings.
Yes.
Like, what's up with that box? Does the box like you put something in and it comes out underneath?
Right? Like, how does that work? Is it a trap of some kind? Like, that was concerning. That was concerning because if Will is it's not Will, the chief is working for the scientist dude now. Was that a trap to try and catch you?
And if it was, does that mean that she's living out in the woods in the snow, like a Yeti?
No. She's only wearing a dress and a jacket. Was she wearing the dress at the end? Had she gotten back into the dress after the pool?
She never got out of the dress in the pool.
Okay, she was still in the dress. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. She took her socks off, but she still had the dress.
I wanted Will's mom to adopt 11. Like, she seemed to have the most, you know, it was like, when she freaks out.
She just instantly was like, this is a kid who needs help. I'm going to take care of her.
Exactly. And it was
so great.
I know the other boy who had the crush on 11, obvious crush. He wanted his mom to take her in, but with his parents, I couldn't see it happening.
His parents were not great. And they already had 3 kids. Come on.
They kept 11 in his basement for a week? And his parents didn't find out till the scientist people came. Yeah,
they didn't notice.
Right? The fake DCFS people. That's what we'll call them.
They I wanted Joyce to take her in.
Adopt 11. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. 11 needs a nice, stable home. And while people would argue that Joyce's home might not be so stable, I think Joyce's home is a lot more stable than it looks because that's the kind of situation I grew up in with just the mom taking care of everything.
Yeah. Like, they didn't look super well
rich
off.
No, but they dealt. They had food on the table, a roof over the head.
Yeah, they were never starving. They wore fine clothes.
It was a 3-bedroom house in the 80s.
Yeah, and they were taking care of each other. Like there was no infighting. They were trying to protect each other. There was so much love in that house.
It was, yeah. You could just tell, like, you didn't have the older brother annoyed with the younger brother. He cared about his little brother.
Yeah, and it was super nice to see because, like how many poor families on TV are like absolute disasters where they all hate each other and they're all terrible.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, me and my sister may not have gotten along, but you better believe we had each other's back growing up.
Oh yeah.
And we were the poor family in the nice white rich town. Don't do that, you're gonna make me do.
I told you before we started recording that I was tired.
I'm tired too. I got all thrown off my schedule today because I took ibuprofen last night.
All right. So, look, my one thing, it literally just says creepy ass monsters.
The monster was amazingly done for the low budget that the show had, as was the Upside Down.
Yeah, the Upside Down was great with those weird spores in the air.
And the way that like some stuff glowed, like there were things that looked like they were eggs and they glowed, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was very surreal and strange, but familiar, which made it more creepy.
Yeah, the familiarity of it being their town and her house, and you know the shed.
Oh my gosh. The part where they went through her shadow house, and as they were walking through, the lights were going on.
Yes, and then she could hear her son. She could hear Jonathan at one point.
Yeah, that was so spooky.
It was.
But like
amazing.
But Jonathan knew that it was her and not the monster.
Yeah, because he even said
they could feel each other.
Yeah, and I was like, familia connection. I love it.
I know, it was so good.
Like, it was perfection. It was literally probably one of the best shows I've watched this season. Like, from Netflix.
No.
It would have to be, like, the best show Netflix has put out yet. I cannot say anything else has caught my attention as well as this did.
I think so. Like, it's an original story. It's super well done.
Yeah.
There's not, like Daredevil and Jessica Jones are fantastic.
They are.
But they're, like, sometimes needlessly violent.
Yeah.
Or,
but
like,
they're comic book stories. That's just what they are. Hello, kitty.
Yeah, they're also the dark adult comic book stories.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's their thing. They're doing the things of smashing people's heads and doors and breaking hands and all that junk. But this managed to be creepy and spooky, and there was even some jump scares, but it wasn't trashy.
Right.
Like, it was very well balanced and well. It was artistic.
Yeah. It was.
It took that like 80s horror thing and elevated a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not cheesy.
It was 80s horror with a touch of more recent era. And that is what really brought it home.
Better acting than anything in the 80s ever had.
Right?
Especially horror movies in the 80s. They were not well acted.
No, they were not. Like, oh, I'm going to run upstairs to get away. What am I talking about? They were still doing that in Scream. They're still doing that today, I'm sure.
Yeah, like, well, Scream was a direct reaction to all those horror movies, though. Yeah, so it was gonna be like that.
It was a poking fun at the stupid horror.
It was a semi-spoof.
And then it got spoofed in Scary Movie.
The first Scary Movie was good. And then
then
after that, I was just like, why? What? Why?
Stop making these. They're not funny anymore.
The fourth one, I actually saw the fourth one at the theater because it was the only one playing. Or like the only movie there the day that we went. And it was literally like direct scenes from other movies stitched together. There wasn't even its own plot.
Oh my god. Like the last one I remember seeing, the only scene I actually remember was somebody got shoved off of a balcony. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you so small? Are you not eating? Why are you so tiny? Manja.
I wish that was my cat's problem. Maybe he'd lose some weight. But yeah.
I don't know. She's like sick or something.
What?
She's sick or something. She keeps like chewing on her feet and she's getting all skinny.
Could be allergies.
Yeah, I switched her food and I have the stuff to spray on her to ease the itching or whatever.
Yeah.
So
hopefully that
hopefully
helps.
It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Maybe she's just turning old.
Yeah,
she's my baby.
She's around the same age as my cat, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's a baby.
I know. He's my baby, even if he is a dick. I love him, even if he is a jackass. Literally. That's where he got his name from.
Right? Well, you did name him that.
I did name him that. His brother's name. This is horrible. His brother's name was Dunn, after Ryan Dunn. And let's just say he got hit by a car.
Because he was done. Oh. You gotta be careful what you name a cat. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But all in all, I would totally give Stranger Things a 10 out of 10 because I literally found nothing wrong with it. Like people were
12 out of 10.
Yeah, people were picking like on Internet Movie Database that they were playing songs from the wrong time period, and they mentioned a movie that might have been out at that point, like still in theaters at that point, but it was highly unlikely. And I'm just like, that's not that big of a deal.
Well, the music especially doesn't matter. Like,
yeah.
Like,
so what if they played it
directly?
Yeah.
If they're listening to it directly on the radio, then that's one thing.
An issue. But if it's just background music, a song playing during a scene transition or something, that doesn't matter. They picked it for the aesthetics, you know?
Exactly. And if that's the only thing that people are complaining about, then that just proves even more how great the show is.
Exactly, yeah.
Scrub your whole face.
Hi, what's up? I'll be unstretched. Barbara's here. She says hi.
Barbara.
Sammy says hi. Do you need an IV? Are you going downstairs? What? Ice, yes. Just dump that because that's from last night.
Chilby.
It's contaminated. Thank you.
You need your whole room full of cups of water in case aliens come.
Yes. I will not drink water that's been sitting out overnight. It's stale. It's nasty.
In a house full of cats, that's probably safe.
Yeah.
That's
well,
why
it has
I have this cup with a.
Yeah, my cup has a lid too.
I got that. I kept that one when I went to the restaurant the time that I got it because she's always drinking out of my water cups. My bed is right by the air vent, and I dry out in the middle of the night, and I don't want to drink cat spit when when I dry out.
I sleep with fans on me constantly, so I just dry out because of that.
And then you're like a mummy. You're just like,
yeah, like I want to make a lip scrub tomorrow because my lips are like horridly dry. Scrub all the dead skin off. I don't want to look like that guy from that show.
that guy.
The main character from that one show,
That certain apocalyptic look.
Yeah, that certain apocalyptic look. I don't want that look.
You don't want scab chic?
No, I don't want scab chic. though I was
when the weather gets cold, you're gonna see my scab wardrobe because I just layer all my shit up.
when it gets it doesn't get cold here. Never mind.
Inside my brain, it should already be getting cold, and we're still suffering through 80% humidity.
Yeah, it's
95-degree weather.
It is currently 81 in my room, and outside. Let's see what it is outside.
Outside, it ain't even right.
Yeah, it's probably cooler outside right now, to be truthful, because it's been cooling off a lot lately. Danke. It has water. Of course, weather.com is going to load super slow now.
Of course.
There we go. It is currently 73 outside. It's supposed to be 59 tonight. I think I'm going to turn off the AC after we get off the show here and open up some windows.
Right.
So I can snuggle under my big blue blanket. If you haven't noticed, everything in my room is blue. I have my big blue blanket,
everything in my room flashes.
My big blue pillow. Everything's big and blue. I like the color blue. No, it looks horrible.
This was totally supposed to be a talk about all the Netflix shows, but I really don't have anything to say about the others because my head is full of Stranger Things.
It's been so long since I've watched any of the other Netflix shows. The most recent one I think I've watched is Orange is the New Black.
We've been watching through Jessica Jones a couple episodes at a time. I'm halfway through that season, but I still haven't seen the second
in a week.
Yeah. Well, I intended to, but when I'm at home by myself, I mostly watch other Leverage or Chuck.
Yeah.
I watch Jessica Jones with my brother, and I only get to hang out with him once a week because he works all week. So
at this point, if I ever go back to watching Daredevil season 2, I'm probably going to have to start season 2 over because I have no freaking clue what was going on.
I haven't even got to it. I was going to watch Jessica Jones and then watch Daredevil season 2 because that's the order they came out.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's almost time for Luke Cage. So
I know I'm ready for Luke Cage, but I need to finish Daredevil. So maybe when I finish up. Well, maybe I'll take a break on Wentworth and hope I can remember what was going on that when I go back to it and try to finish Daredevil before Luke Cage comes out.
Yeah.
I think I can do that. Yeah. And I also got to cram an Arrow and Flash season 2 between now and October.
There's more time for those. Yeah, there's more time for those.
Thankfully, I can literally sit at work and watch Netflix while I'm working, so works out. I love my job.
That's so cool.
I love my job, except when people are weird.
Well, that's any job.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yay. Oh, okay, that's why. Okay. So I guess, because basically we just turned this into a Stranger Things episode. Please don't think we were imitating anyone else who did a Stranger Things episode this week, because I've seen several get posted on Twitter this week. It just seems to be the fashionable thing to talk about this week.
Because it's flipping awesome and everyone just watched it.
It is. It is flipping awesome. I guess we will cover 2 weeks worth of Dark Matter and Killjoys next Saturday. Saturday? Okay.
Yeah, because I still haven't watched those either.
I watched them Monday. I watched them yesterday morning, and then I watched Sharknado 4 right after that.
Don't encourage sci-fi.
I'm not encouraging sci-fi. It was basically because I was informed this was the last one. And I have an OCD when it comes to collections or seeing the entirety of a series.
You're a completist.
I am. It's horrible because it like drives me nuts because I will buy I love the Marvel movies in general, and I own all of them, including X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Even though it's bad.
Yeah, exactly. I have to own complete sets. It's just I've been away for a long
that
time.
too.
Yeah.
Like 2 Christmases ago, one of my friends bought me the not special edition ones of five or 7 of the Marvel movies because I didn't have any of them. My roommate had them, and when I moved out, he still had them because they were his.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't have any of them.
It was funny. I have
half of them now.
I had all the X-Men movies. As soon as they came out on DVD, I bought them. X-Men 1, 2, and 3. And then I didn't buy any Marvel movies for a very long time, like Captain America, Thor, X-Men Origins, all those kept coming out. And then for Christmas, I was still with my ex, and I'm like, oh, I'll buy him Thor and Captain America because he's going on and on about them. And I was like, at that time, I will admit it, I loved the comic books. I loved Captain America and Thor in the comic books, but I was leery about them being turned into movies because they really kind of failed us with the original X-Men trilogy.
Yeah,
even though the original X-Men trilogy. The original X-Men trilogy did give us the amazingness that was Pyro, as played by Aaron Stanford. I didn't mention the show; I just mentioned an actor. But
the show that we're not mentioning is why I actually finally bought X2. Yeah. Because I had 1 and 3, but I didn't have 2.
I had X2. I've had X2 since it came out on DVD, and right
X3
after.
Is really good.
I have it, and the only reason I watch it is for Pyro. Literally, I will put it in when I'm in the mood to just watch Pyro. I skip all scenes that don't have him in it, and then I write funny ranty posts on Tumblr about how the entire X-Men world failed John Allardyce.
Well, yeah.
It is literally at this point 8 pages long. It is on my Tumblr.
X-Men, the movies, failed Jubilee over and over and over again.
And they've done it yet again.
I think there's probably a movie they could make out of all her cut scenes played by 3 different people.
Right?
I want to see the Jubilee cut, which is just the entire franchise, only Jubilee scenes.
I did not understand why in Apocalypse they built up Jubilee so much in the previews and all this stuff and the promo crap and Jubilee. I thought she was going to be a part of the team that saves the day, and then
she flipping awesome in her 2 seconds that she had. Right? But they didn't give her anything to do.
Shit, right? Let's have a Jubilee cut of Apocalypse, please. You did it for Rogue, who wasn't even in the movie.
Right? There wasn't even a scene where, they left Jubilee behind when they got put on the helicopter. And there wasn't even a scene where she was, rallying the forces or anything.
I am sorry. I'm going to read this to you because it's hilarious. Apparently, Barbara can hear us ranting about Jubilee. But Barbara just IM'd me on AIM with Jubilee in movie for 5 seconds because Jean fucking Grey is the return of Christ.
Jean Grey is always.
I know, right? I mean,
they're always slightly letting me down with Jean because, the whole Phoenix arc is my favorite thing that she has ever done.
And they still haven't done it right in the movies.
The new one, I did not like. It didn't bother me. It was neat.
It didn't bother me as much.
The old one pissed me off.
Oh my god, yes.
And also, she looked jaundiced through the entire movie. I'm like, maybe she's evil because her liver is failing. like she looked bad.
Oh, she did. She really did. She looked horrible.
And I mean, she was probably supposed to because the Phoenix Force was killing her. But like,
yeah,
like, come on.
Oh, sorry.
Also, it made it really small. Like, she was just busting up one city rather than eating a sun and bringing in aliens to stop her.
Yeah, exactly.
It made it really small.
It's just a part of her psychic abilities. No, it is not. It was an alien life form.
And it's not even her, technically, in the comics.
Get it right. Nobody has.
It is her, but when she came back, it wasn't her.
We gotta say Bryan Singer has done it the best, because the guy, whoever it was that did the third movie, they failed horribly. I don't know who did the third movie. The third movie no longer actually exists in canon, thanks to Days of Future Past.
Yeah, it got reset from the beginning.
It's like I asked.
Oh, you know what? If they do have canon or cable in the next Deadpool one, like they're talking about, I wonder how they're gonna explain that.
Right.
Because his parents are a very complicated story, and he's a time traveler, and they're in a different franchise.
Yeah. Well, no, because
that's
Fox.
They're the same one.
That's Fox. That's Fox Marvel, not Disney Marvel.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Like,
they did that really well.
Are they gonna bring in one or the other Jean and Scott's?
It'd be
interesting them to their middle-aged
if baby. Well, what's his name? Who played Scott in the original trilogy? Says he does not want to reprise the role.
He was a stick in the mud. He's so much more fun in other movies.
Oh, he is. I know. And then what's her name that played adult Jean? She's also expressed no interest in reprising the role. So if they bring in Jean and Scott to Deadpool, it would have to be our younger versions, which I'm okay with because I love Sophia Turner. She's adorable and amazing.
But they're in the 80s.
Right? And I'm assuming Deadpool takes place in the
like
our
now.
time. Yeah.
So they're gonna be like aged up until the 40s?
I guess. I don't know. Unless they get different actors.
They'll have more different actors.
Right? More different actors.
It's like when you get a new artist on your comic. Like, they're the same character, they just look different because someone else is drawing them. It'll be like Veritas.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I think we should wrap the show before we start ranting more about X-Men.
Yeah.
Because I could go.
There is going to be that X-Men TV show that maybe we won't have to rant about.
Yeah, we can hope. We can hope it's as good as, maybe.
It looks good.
It does. Are we talking about Legion?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that did look really, really good, and I really, really want to watch it, so.
And it looks trippy as crap.
Come on, don't fail me now, because that means we might get, we will either get Patrick Stewart or James McAvoy on TV at some point, because they have to have Daddy in the show. You cannot have Professor Xavier's son running around thinking he's insane without Professor Xavier showing up at some point.
At some point.
And since it is owned by Fox, we will probably either see Patrick Stewart or James McAvoy. I don't know which timeline we're in, so I don't know which one.
Maybe there's an actor who splits the difference. who looks a little bit like both of them, but is half the age of one and a little bit older than the other.
Jesus, that would be hilarious. Though Patrick Stewart looks amazing for his age.
Dude, he does. He hasn't aged like 40
He hasn't
years.
aged much.
He's aged like
40
20
right?
years.
Yeah.
For a long time, he like didn't age at all. It was a little bit spooky.
Yeah, for a while he just looked the same for years on end.
All that space travel.
Yep.
Keeps
that's
you
all
fit.
that space and spend time and stuff.
All that Star Trek.
All that Star Trek.
All that Star Trekking.
Yes. Barbara loves Star Trek. I'm surprised she hasn't commented her name yet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's show was supposed to be the Netflix episode, but it ended up being the Stranger Things episode. We apologize for that, but we don't want to run much longer. So maybe next Tuesday we can actually do a Netflix episode and like discuss the other really good Netflix shows, because there are other Netflix shows out there besides what Marvel's been throwing at us through Netflix. Because there's House of Cards and
I haven't seen.
Neither have I. I'm just like it was the first one that's always comes up. Narcos.
Which I also haven't seen.
Please tell me you've at least seen Orange.
I've seen some of Orange is the New Black.
Okay.
But
I bawled my eyes out at the end of season 4.
I'm not a huge fan of like cops or lawyers. And that's what a lot of their other shows are.
Yeah.
Like it's Law and Order is what their other shows are. Not the show Law and Order, like the topic
but
Law and
similar,
Order.
yeah. There's another one that's actually really interesting. And you might like it. I think season 2 just came out. Hang on.
They've got that new Bolt.
Yeah, I keep meaning to check that out.
They've got Fuller House, which is a disaster, but weirdly addictive.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna watch one episode just to see, and I was like, okay, I'll watch 2 episodes, and then like 2 days later, oh shit, I just watched the whole series.
We were watching
The Little Prince. I forgot about that.
We were looking something that we could in the background while we were like doing random house stuff. Me and my sister.
Between.
And then it was 9 episodes later, and we were still watching it.
Yeah, that is basically what happened here. I was cleaning my room while I watched the first season.
It was very strange. Like it was kind of like handed off to sisters, I guess, but the other sister is missing, and the people just all left.
Yeah. The other show that I was
like the same joke over and over.
Yeah. The other show I was talking about on Netflix is called Between, and it's about like where all the adults die in this one town, and it's left to everybody who's like under 21 to figure out what's going on. And the town
is that a Netflix original?
Yeah, it's a Netflix original.
Really?
Yeah,
I heard about that I heard about that a while ago. I didn't realize it had come out already.
Yeah, the first season came out like sometime last year, and I think I only watched like the first 3 episodes, and it was really good. Don't get me wrong, but then I heard Prison Break was coming back, and I decided to go watch Prison Break instead. And now
that's why I
I
haven't finished Chuck because I started watching Prison Break.
I'm trying to get this to open without starting to play, so let's see if I can do it. Aha, I did it, yes. Yes, season 2 is out now, so I bet you anything season 2 got a shorter season, though. Let's see. No, being stupid. Let's see. Season 2 is... Ooh! Wow, 6 episodes long.
Next week is when the Get Down starts, which I'm excited about. And
what's that?
That's the one where they're in New York, and it's the development of punk and rap and
oh right, yes,
something else because of these teenagers being in the scene.
All right, I might check that out just to see.
Baz Luhrmann or something, which ought to be entirely over the top.
Yes.
But like, even if the show sucks, it's gonna have an awesome soundtrack.
Agreed. All right.
Just because of the topic.
So, do we want to try and do an actual Netflix show next Tuesday, or do we want to figure something else out for next Tuesday?
We can go with Netflix unless we come up with a better topic in the meantime.
You know.
And then we'll have two shows we're not talking about.
There you go. We should also do kind of like a nostalgic episode where we discuss shows of old that we watched. Yes.
Old shows. I love old shows.
I bet you
we could do that. We could do that and then do the we can do that and then do the Netflix show the week after so that we'll have at least seen part of the Get Down to talk about.
All right, that sounds good. So we'll do nostalgic next week, next Tuesday. I will have to pick some shows because I'm like just sitting here looking at my DVDs right now, and that's what gave me the idea. Because most of my DVDs are shows that never made it past like 2 seasons.
Dude, right? Like, I love me some third string sci-fi. Like, I can't even tell you.
I love, like, I have Jericho seasons 1 and 2 on DVD, and then I have Birds of Prey, the original DC TV show. Yeah.
I barely remember.
Yeah, that came out around the same time as Tarzan with Travis Fimmel.
Oh my goodness.
See, I remember this shit because that's right around when I started watching TV. All that stuff started airing when I just started watching TV on a regular basis. It's funny.
Yeah, there was like right now there's a Geek Flap going on. There was another one in the 90s.
Exactly, and that's why we got stuff like Birds of Prey.
After the fantasy thing in the 80s. Yeah. There were so many like 4-minute shows about aliens or superheroes or time travel or whatever in the 90s.
Oh my god.
Love me some time
I'm going to do some research. I'm going to have some good shows to talk about next week. Definitely. So next Tuesday we will do nostalgic television. All right. I like this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening as we discuss Stranger Things instead of all Netflix things.
We sort of talked about.
We did mention the other shows, and hey, it's a first. We didn't say those 2 words tonight. Go us. We didn't say it. We hinted, but we never said it. We're talking about that random thing right there. I don't even know. Do the little name tags show up on the video on YouTube?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Okay, well, I'm pointing at a name tag that's visible to us. Obviously not to you guys. It's right there. It's usually right there. And join us Saturday night as we discuss 2 weeks worth of Killjoys and Dark Matter because we missed last week due to family obligations. And then following Tuesday, we will be discussing nostalgic television with maybe a guest host because I bet you once I tell Barbara what we're going to discuss, she'll want to join us. So, yes.
Because it's so good. Nerds love their old
We do, and we can talk for a long time about old television. All right. We will see you Saturday night, folks. Bye. Bye. Okay, I'm going to log out now. Bye-bye.